The clock hits 10 a.m. over the Ukrainian countryside, and we have fresh reports coming in from the battle zones. Today we bring you exclusive footage showing multiple encounters between Ukrainian drones and Russian forces caught in vulnerable positions across various sectors of the front line. Our coverage includes dramatic moments of soldiers attempting to evade detection and the advanced technology being used by Ukrainian pilots to locate and neutralize threats. These clips demonstrate the critical role that aerial surveillance and FPV drones play in modern combat operations. From soldiers caught sleeping in abandoned buildings to convoys moving through open terrain, each incident reveals important tactical lessons about survival and awareness on the battlefield. Let's begin our detailed report with the first soldier who made a critical mistake. We start with a Russian soldier running away as fast as possible when he spots a Ukrainian FPV. He tried shooting but completely missed his target. These soldiers were caught during their rotation. The next soldier attempted to spin around a tree but lost his footing and fell down. He got slightly lucky because the drone missed him. In this situation, he was holding a machine gun but didn't fire any shots, probably because he ran out of bullets. If he had saved his ammunition, this wouldn't have happened. This soldier looks funny because he didn't even look back. At first, this looks like an ordinary destroyed house, but inside a Russian soldier is fast asleep. If he had woken up just 5 minutes earlier, he could have survived. The next soldier got tired and sat down to take a break, but he picked the wrong spot to rest. Another soldier is sleeping hidden in the bushes. His hiding spot was good, but Ukrainian pilots still found him and finished their task successfully. In the following house, the Russian soldier made himself comfortable, but there's one problem. This isn't his house. The next soldier couldn't reach the shelter in time, so he laid down right on top of the rubble. He decided it was better to jump at the drone himself and attack first instead of waiting for the hit. The next soldier hid properly in the trench, but he was still seen and couldn't get away. This soldier tried to run away, but usually nobody manages to escape. His gun stopped working at the worst possible time. Ukrainian intelligence found another Russian soldier under a power line standing in an open field. The FPV drone took care of him successfully. The next soldier was seen in the middle of residential buildings. He made the mistake of leaving his cover at the wrong moment. The next Russian soldier sat down right in the middle of some bushes and immediately regretted his choice. Here we see a destroyed house, and deep inside, an occupier had locked himself in one of the rooms, hoping the drone wouldn't locate him. But the pilots found him anyway. In this clip, a drunk Russian soldier decided to lie down under a tree, thinking the leaves would hide him from view, but using a drone with thermal imaging, the soldier was found and eliminated. Here's another similar case, but this time the soldier went deeper into the branches, yet that didn't help him either. The drone is simply too effective. This soldier managed to find a basement among the ruins, but he didn't have enough time to climb inside. Pilots from the Maga Birds unit got information from a nearby unit that they spotted a lost Russian infantryman walking down the middle of this road. He was heading in the opposite direction away from Russian positions and was about to reach the Ukrainian trenches, but the FPV arrived just in time and stopped his movement. He attempted to shoot down the drone by firing several rounds at it, but every shot missed the target. FPV drones work not only against targets on the ground, but also against flying targets. Like this Russian Mona, here we see enemy electronic warfare equipment that was meant to block the drone's signal, but was likely set up incorrectly. Next, we have a cannon that disturbed Ukrainian soldiers every single night. Here's an enemy ground drone that most likely lost its connection. Another group of Russian vehicles was left out in the open without any protection, which is actually helpful, because it makes spotting these targets much easier for Ukrainian pilots. The lack of proper cover demonstrates poor tactical planning by the enemy forces. When vehicles are positioned in exposed areas, they become easy targets for aerial observation. This particular group of vehicles was spotted quickly due to their visibility in the open terrain. Ukrainian drone pilots take advantage of such situations to eliminate threats before they can advance further. These vehicles were likely moving supplies or personnel to forward positions when they were detected. The timing of the strike was crucial to prevent them from reaching their destination. Each vehicle destroyed means fewer resources available for enemy operations. This is why proper camouflage and cover are essential in modern warfare. Here we see a large Russian truck that was bringing ammunition toward the front line. Luckily, its movement was noticed and stopped successfully. The destruction of ammunition trucks is critically important because it cuts off supplies to enemy forces at the front. Without ammunition, soldiers cannot continue fighting effectively. This particular truck was carrying a significant amount of supplies that were meant to resupply forward units. Ukrainian pilots tracked its movement along the supply route and waited for the perfect moment to strike. The driver likely thought he was safe using this particular road, but Ukrainian surveillance detected him. Once the truck was hit, the ammunition inside created secondary explosions, confirming the successful elimination of this high-value target. Then, the pilots saw a whole group of Russian soldiers riding motorcycles. They were all moving to attack Ukrainian positions, but they were detected early, and the enemy's attack plans were stopped. Ukrainian units defend against mechanized assault on Pokrovsk. The occupiers started active operations early in the morning, attempting to use bad weather to their advantage. The Russians used armored vehicles, cars, and motorcycles for their assault. The columns attempted to push through from the south toward the northern section of the city. Meanwhile, Ukrainian units were expecting the enemy's assault and started fighting back in an organized way. The 68th Brigade destroyed the first armored vehicle, and then other units, including artillery, began hitting the enemy's equipment and soldiers. The coordination between different Ukrainian units proved to be the key factor in stopping this assault. Infantry positions worked together with artillery teams to create overlapping fields of fire that made it nearly impossible for the Russian forces to advance safely. Communication between the units was maintained throughout the entire engagement, ensuring that every movement by the enemy was tracked and responded to immediately. The Russian commanders had clearly underestimated the level of preparation on the Ukrainian side. They believed that poor weather conditions would provide them with enough cover to reach their objectives, but Ukrainian forces had anticipated this exact strategy. Thermal imaging equipment and drones operating above the cloud cover meant that visibility issues affected the attackers far more than the defenders. As the assault continued, more Russian vehicles were destroyed one after another. Each loss further demoralized the attacking forces and disrupted their formation. Motorcycle units that were supposed to provide fast mobility became easy targets once their main armored support was eliminated. The soldiers riding these motorcycles found themselves exposed in open ground with nowhere to hide. Many abandoned their vehicles and attempted to retreat on foot, but this only made them more vulnerable to artillery fire and drone strikes. The entire operation, which the Russians had planned as a quick breakthrough, turned into a costly failure within the first hour. Ukrainian artillery played a particularly important role in this defense. Using precise coordinates provided by forward observers and drone operators, the artillery units were able to strike enemy positions with remarkable accuracy. Several ammunition carriers were hit, causing massive secondary explosions that eliminated nearby infantry and disabled additional vehicles. The psychological impact of these explosions cannot be understated, as surviving Russian soldiers witnessed their supply lines being cut off right before their eyes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest Frontline news as it happens.